this.
All right, we're rolling.
Great.
Happy days.
Welcome, Charlie.
Oh, I'm so excited for this, Anthony, honestly.
Yeah, me too.
It's been a few... How many months now have we been sort of planning and talking about
Probably
this?
a couple of months now.
Yeah.
Ever since the Christmas sesh, wasn't it?
Pretty
so,
much, since Hester
we're
Fingers.
Yeah, we're coming up towards the end of February, so yeah, I guess it's been a couple of months.
Yeah, in the pipeline, and I'm so excited to really get this on the way. I think it's something that the UK community needs, to be honest with you.
Me too.
It's something you see fingerboard podcasts like mostly in America, but
of course, yeah.
There's none that are so like dedicated to the UK fingerboard scene, and we're a little scene, but we pack a big punch. So I think
definitely,
it deserves it.
Parts of us do go across the waters anyway.
100%. Yeah, there's a few of the community that go out to sort of like Fast Fingers and the Flat Face events.
Yeah, VOO,
Fingerboard Con.
Yeah, exactly.
Loads.
Not to mention some of our brands are also known over the pond as well. So
exactly.
Like Cartwheels, Milkshake, to name a few. Six Screws as well.
International, baby.
Yeah, maybe us one day.
Maybe.
Yeah.
We've got big dreams.
We do indeed.
But welcome everybody to the official UK podcast, Tea and Big Flips. Hosted
Just a little play on words of tea and biscuits.
Yeah, I don't know if anyone's going to get it off the bat, but it's something we came up with that we thought would stick.
Yeah.
Hosted by myself. I'm Charlie, and
I'm Fish, Anthony.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to getting into this. So, I guess we'll start with just basically going on and saying how the idea came about. To wanting to do this, really. I mean, me and you kind of hit it off straight away up at projects, didn't we, up in Manchester during Festive Fingers? Really got on well with you.
Yeah, we kind of just clicked, really, didn't we? Just got talking a little bit, and then I guess we started finding out we have loads in common besides fingerboarding. So
yeah, exactly.
Like you're into your watches, and I am too, and both young dads as well. Yeah, lots of things in common.
100%, and I can't remember who brought it up first, but it's something I've been toying with for a while, was starting a fingerboard podcast, especially for the UK. And then I think we just spoke on the phone because I wanted to get a fish deck, and we were sort of in cahoots about that, and then we just started talking, and then it came up in conversation, didn't it, really? And it's just kind of, that was the birth of Tea and Big Flips.
Tea and Big Flips, yeah. So I guess I know you have a bit of a history with streaming, and I've done a little bit myself in other communities. So I guess I've also done some other kind of light podcasts as well. Very very short-lived few episodes.
Yeah.
But it's something I've always enjoyed, and I'm always passionate about fingerboarding and reaching the wider community.
Yeah.
So I guess it's really natural for us to come together to do this.
100%. I mean, I started technically fingerboarding in like 2011, but I took a really long break, and it wasn't until sort of last year I found my old setups, some of my old Berlin Woods from like over 15 years ago. And obviously my first ever event and the first sort of introduction to the UK fingerboarding scene, because I was so isolated before, being so young, and also social media wasn't really massive, as nowhere near like what it is today back then. And I just found that I didn't really connect with anyone, and it's such an isolating hobby anyway, like it's so niche, it's hard to find people that do it as well. Anyway, so I saw that the event was happening. I joined the Discord, the UK Fingerboard Discord. Shout out to that. If you're not in it and you're in the UK, 100% you need to join it. All the links and stuff we'll put in the description below. But I joined that, saw that the event was happening. I was in Monmouth that weekend anyway, so it was only a few hours drive, because I'm based down in Sussex, so it's quite a punt going from Sussex all the way up to Manchester. It's like 4 or 5 hour drive. So I was going up anyway. I thought, it's only a couple of hours from Monmouth, I'll travel up on the Sunday morning. And then I just got welcomed with nothing but positive energy, and just everyone was so welcoming and warm. And I didn't know anyone. I was a complete stranger, and like straight away everyone was like, "Yeah, come on." It was just, I made friends instantly, and I'm a little bit of an introvert at heart. Like, sometimes I struggle, especially if it's like literally I'm there on my own. I don't know anyone there.
You
But
know
it's
what?
just,
I think that's really kind of natural for a lot of people in the fingerboarding community to be introverted.
mm,
I think it's all, as you say, it's almost like an introverted hobby, really.
yeah,
It's
100%.
designed to be played by yourself and to, just focus on self improvement, and it's not inherently social. But
Yeah.
I guess humans are also social creatures as well,
Hmm.
so it kind of brings that side out of us that we want to start to engage with other people,
Yeah.
and to share this experience that we have.
100%. And it was because of that warm welcome, especially with everyone encouraging me to make the Instagram account and everything, that I just kind of made the push. And I was like, look, I want to give back. And that's where sort of the inspiration for wanting to do a podcast came from, really.
Yeah, nice. Yeah, I mean, yeah, we're glad you did it. We're glad you are.
I'm glad.
Glad you're part of us.
Yeah, 100%. I'm glad to be here, man. I'm here to stay. And I want to make a bit of an impact and give back. And yeah, I'm looking
Nice.
forward to it.
I bet since you've joined the community, though, you've spent so much more money on fingerboarding than you used to.
Well, that's the thing, right? It's a few people have said it right. It's a childhood hobby, but with adult money.
Yeah.
It's like, before where I was having to do like chores and like little side bits, like when you're only like 12 years old, like around the house, like mowing the lawn and like cleaning the dishwasher and stuff like that.
That's the
Cleaning
joy
the
of being
dishes.
an adult, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly.
You've got dispensable income and
But that's the thing, yeah.
not
It's
so
like
much
whereas
time.
before it was like I had to save up so much to get a Berlin wood, whereas like now it's like, if I want one, I'll just get one. But it's like you can get carried away with it so quickly.
For sure, yeah. Yes. No, since I joined the Discord, I've bought so many decks. My wife would kill me.
Oh, yeah. I wouldn't want to I wouldn't want to admit to anyone the investment I've put into to this over the past couple of months. To be honest,
Only a couple £100, I guess.
The rest probably.
Yeah.
We'll see. But it's what I love. I'm having fun with it, and
Yeah.
and also some things hold their value as well, especially when you look at ramps like obstacles and stuff like that. If you do get bored of it, you can shift it and recoup some of your money back as well. I
Yeah,
feel.
exactly. I guess that's like most hobbies, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
As
Like
long as they're
watches.
not completely consumable. Yeah, watches, Pokemon cards, I guess.
Yeah, anything like
Yeah.
that. If there's a demand for it, it's the right price for the right buyer, really, isn't it? I guess.
But you know what? I don't want the community and the kind of products to go in that direction, though.
No.
I feel that it should be accessible for anyone. That,
100%.
people should be able to enjoy like the nicer decks if they want to, and not have to worry that I'm gonna have to pay £200 for a beast pants or a snake house or something,
Or a knife
crazy
deck.
money, or like
As well.
like woobs and all that. Yeah. So whilst I understand by the nature of fingerboarding, it is very limited in terms of the product. I don't want it to get to the point where it becomes about flipping and holding for investments rather than
exactly.
enjoying it for what it is.
Mm-hmm. I didn't mean it necessarily to make a profit. It's more like,
of course, yeah.
if you're going to spend, because you look at Black River and some obstacles, you're looking easily upwards of like 60 to over £100, depending on what you're looking at. 70, 80 quid. It's a lot of money. And
For sure.
especially for a hobby, that's...
Especially when you've got youngsters in the hobby as well, where
100%.
they haven't got that
kind of
disposable
money.
income that we enjoy. And we really should be trying to make this accessible for the younger generation as well, so that they
100%.
can enjoy the better products that we've kind of developed as a community.
Yeah. And it's nice to know that, if you are going to just blow sort of 80 quid on a Black River ramp, for instance, you're not going to just... You know that as long as you look after it and you don't destroy it, then if you do want to shift it at some point, you're going to recuperate some of that money back. It's not like it's just you're burning 80 quid and it's gone. It's nice.
But then again, I think people also love that kind of worn in and well loved sort of
100%.
look as well. People love to slap their stickers on. People love their BRTs with the massive crook grooves in them. I think it's all part of it. I think just whatever you buy, just use it, just shred it.
Yeah, I
Don't
actually
think
only
about
own one brand spanking new Black River obstacle. The rest of all my every other obstacle, unless it's like a DIY one, is like secondhand. And I love how it's just been worn in, and it's amazing, especially with like the wooden obstacles, how much life you can get back into them just with like a little bit of sanding. I mean, there was
for sure.
like the fun box that I got, and I got the Mike Schneider what's it called, the loading dock,
Loading dock,
And
yeah.
yeah, and you know they were a bit battered when I got them, a little bit faded, and you know a little bit of like not too fine a sandpaper. You still want to keep a bit of grit in there so that it's not too smooth.
Yeah.
Um,
If there's one obstacle I really recommend getting used, it's bricks. So
yeah,
if you get like a
100%.
brick ledge,
Yeah.
or I think there's a Mike Schneider one with the brick wall on it as well.
That's the one, that the loading dock. That's the one
Yeah,
I've got. Yeah,
yeah,
it still needs breaking in properly.
yeah. Brick is so hard to kind of wear in. You gotta wax it up. You gotta sand it in and grind it a bit. Otherwise, it just starts chipping. And if you get those chips, you don't get that smooth clack 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 as you grind it. But there's a kind of a way to do it where eventually it just becomes a smooth ride, but you still get that brick sound. That's the ultimate goal for brick obstacles.
And it's like because when I came out of the scene, obviously Black River still had a lot of the classic obstacles like the pocket mini and the pocket kicker, pocket quarter. And it's just like, but back then it was just like standard coping, and now since coming back, I've learned about diamond coping, and I didn't really get it at first, but then I've heard people use them, and I'm like, I haven't even felt what it feels like yet, and I just hearing it, I get it. You know,
it's
like
ASMR,
it's
isn't it?
100%. It is a satisfying thing. That's the only reason it's there. It's just yeah.
To non-fingerboarders, it's irritating though.
I can imagine. I think
I
yeah.
I think I actually sold my my box 2 with diamond coping because it was irritating my wife. So before, it was already irritating hearing the clack and then
I think fingerboarding in general, unless you're on something like a mouse pad, is irritating to anyone in earshot that doesn't fingerboard. I knew that was one thing my mum was quite happy with when I gave it up originally. I was like, oh my god, I haven't had to hear it. And then since bringing it back, she's like, oh my god, no, not this again. It's quite
reliving
funny.
The youth.
Yeah, exactly. But I'm having fun with it, and that's all that matters, really. I'm respectful. Obviously, late at night, if everyone's in bed, I'm not going to be there slamming my deck against the table. I'll use mouse mats and stuff like that. But
it's funny you should say that, because you should look at silent obstacles. So they do like a mat, and they do some ledges and kickers.
I have
and stuff.
seen that.
I've
seen
they're
quite
good.
a few. I've seen the obstacles. I don't know about necessarily the mats, on whether they're just a glorified mouse mat or not.
But it is. Effectively, it is. Yeah.
So
it is.
And I'm not trying to disrespect the company at all, because I'm sure they've gone through loads of material to make sure like what still gives you good pop and everything. But I think the obstacles.
If you're trying to do it on a budget, definitely just get a mouse mat.
Yeah, but the obstacles, however, I love how they're like a silicone 3D printed kind of obstacle, aren't they?
Yeah, exactly. But they've got some dampeners in there as well.
Yeah, such a good idea.
Very, very well designed.
If you want to go fingerboarding like on like a tray table on an airplane or something like that, you're not going to annoy everyone around you.
It reminds me of my first obstacle, which was a French dictionary, like a French Collins dictionary book.
Yeah.
And it's kind of like softish, got a little bit of give in it, but it feels nice, and it's just a bit nostalgic for me, really. So
yeah.
I use that when the kids are sleeping next door.
Love that. So how about we kind of segue into telling people about us? I mean, obviously, I'm very new to the community, so I'm sure there's plenty that I can sort of explain or try and give people a bit of a backstory on my, I guess, fingerboarding. I won't say career, but I can't, for lack of a better word. And obviously, I'm sure a lot of people know about Fish FB, but
in the UK, I guess quite a few people do. I'm not particularly well known internationally. I've not made that step to jumping overseas, although I am in talks with someone about getting some products in Spain.
Oh wow!
So
okay,
that's kind of cool.
That's exciting.
So a little bit
branching out a bit
another time. Yeah,
but I guess I want to know a little bit more about you as an individual. I guess really, like your fingerboarding, your like personal fingerboarding journey, and how you came across it, and also stuff like, did you used to skateboard when you were younger? I think that's always like a really good segue for a lot of people. Most fingerboarders, I would say, probably started skateboarding before they started fingerboarding.
Yeah, I think a lot of people in my sort of generation, and probably your generation a bit as well, they started with like Tony Hawk's. They played the PlayStation game or wherever it was on.
For me, it was skate.
Skates,
Yeah.
yeah. So for me, I'm probably a little bit older then, and Tony Hawk's was my go-to skate game.
Mhm.
Specifically, Tony Hawk's 2. Played that
Yeah.
with friends. Played it on the Game Boy Advance. Absolutely loved it and killed that game.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that kind of really wanted me to get me skateboarding. And so I got my first skateboard.
Yeah.
I forget. I think it's probably like from a JD Sports, just a quick £20
Yeah.
setup.
Yeah.
Tried to do some stuff on that. I was okay at it. I eventually got a proper setup. But in the meantime, my mum didn't really want me kind of skateboarding. They were worried that I was gonna injure
Yeah, it
myself
is dangerous.
seriously. Yeah, like parents being parents, I
Yeah, of
guess.
course, yeah.
And so my mum got me a fingerboard. I don't think it was a tech deck. This is back all the way back in like 1998 or something.
When did Tech Deck
I
come
think
about?
it's like 97, 98, but it was really early on. So I was born in 86, and so yeah, about 98, I guess, was when I got my first fingerboard. My mum got it for me. It had a Union Jack flag on it as well. So
Yeah.
I don't have it. I don't have it anymore. I kind of really miss it.
I've just I literally just fact checked it because I was quite interested. So Tech Deck is 1 year older than me. It came out in 1998.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think mine wasn't a tech deck. It was, I guess tech decks were getting really popular at the time.
Early 2000s, they kind of blew up really, and like late 2000s, I'd say.
Yeah, but they did have like knockoffs already. So I had a knockoff one that my mum got from the newsagents.
Yeah.
I think it's probably like $3.99 or something.
Like the ones you get with like a little magazine, comes with like a little mini
yeah,
skateboard.
yeah, it comes with like some. No, it was a proper packaged one.
Oh, okay.
In a blister pack, and then it had a spare set of wheels and
cool.
little kind of like a crank to get
Little
out the
tool.
nuts and stuff.
Yeah.
So it didn't have like the standard kind of tools that we have now, where it's got the hex and the screw on one. It was kind of like a T-shaped thing. Yeah. So I had one of those, and I found I actually had a knack for it. I was trying to imitate real skating with it, and I found that I could ollie, and none of my friends could. They said you've obviously got glue on your fingers, or you've done this, and
defying physics.
Yeah, blue tack and all that stuff, classic stuff. And I just found that I could do it, even though it had horrible grip tape on it, and my friends wondering how'd you do that, and everyone started copying me, trying to do it in school. Bearing in mind I was like 11 or 12 at the time, so but I was really understanding how to do it. I actually learned how to like kick flip and heel flip on it as well.
Wow.
So people were really impressed that I could do all this stuff. I was doing all sorts of grinds.
That's the thing. As a kid, it's quite impressive. When you go to school and you go, "Oh, look at this," and people will go, "Oh, that's really cool." Then like you get a little bit older and people go like, "Eh."
Yeah, you know what?
Like, it's not as
standard.
It's not as impressive anymore. Do you know what I mean? Because it's seen as something that's so immature, I think, to the standard person. Which,
well, we're a lot more accepting in today's culture, I guess.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. There's a lot more niche hobbies out there, but I just did it because I enjoyed it. I even took it to like restaurants and stuff. I'm sure I pissed off a lot of customers, but I was doing it in restaurants. They're everywhere, really, and I just loved it.
I love that. That's great. I mean, one thing I did want to ask you. So you used to skateboard, did you say? So do you remember your first skateboard graphic, like your first deck?
Yeah, so my first proper one was a Blind Industries deck.
Okay.
So the Little Reaper.
Yeah.
I'm a pretty small guy. I was even a smaller kid. So so I actually had a mini deck for my first one. So I think it was 7.25 inches wide, so it's pretty small.
Oh, okay.
And then I had, I can't remember if it was 50 or 52 millimeter wheels. I think it was 50.
Yeah.
I remember being really obsessed with like the specifications of the deck, because I actually met at the time he was a sponsored skater. I don't know if people know him. He's called Nick Jensen. He was sponsored by Blueprint at the time.
Oh, okay.
And then he went on to create his own company, Isle Skateboards.
Yeah.
But Nick is like my favorite UK skater, hands down.
Yeah.
And I met him when he was a kid, like when he was 14 or something.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, and he just blew my mind when I saw him skate, and hung out with him a few times whilst we were on holiday. honestly, like my love for skateboarding kind of like just increased exponentially from that point. And
Yeah.
because I was not that good at skating and I couldn't imitate that style of skateboarding, I tried to imitate it on a fingerboard instead.
Right.
So I
Okay.
incorporated things like
Yeah. Yeah.
manuals and kick flips and all that stuff.
I mean,
And
I'm.
he really inspired me to like get better at some sort of skating skill, really.
Yeah.
Although it wasn't skateboarding, it was fingerboarding.
Mhm.
I got decent at, I say decent at skateboarding in the end. I could kick flip, I could ollie down a few sets.
You're better than me.
Yeah, but maybe I think like my best was maybe like a 5 set or something. I could
Wow.
do like board slide or something, but nothing crazy. I never did like flips into slides or anything.
Yeah, I never really got any
Yeah.
further than just an ollie. Maybe like an ollie off a curb or up a curb, but that was about it.
Yeah.
For me, it was more like I went out with a group of mates. We used to go to like skate parks and hit a few local street spots, but I did a lot of the filming. So I got like a little fisheye lens for my phone, and done all the editing and stuff on my computer at home.
It's a very underrated skill, filming.
Yeah, I learned that from a very young age with the getting the angles and the following them.
Exactly, and you don't want to feel like you let down the team when someone lands a great trick as well, and you've kind of caught it off frame as well.
Yeah, no, exactly. It was good. There's one of them. There's actually an edit. I don't know if it's on the internet anymore. It might be, but there was an edit that I came up with, and it was for one of my mates, or it was like a mate's mate. Anyway, quite a young kid, but he was so incredibly talented when it comes to skateboarding. We're talking funny enough, like big flips down like 5 steps and stuff like that. Like it was quite impressive for his age. We made like a little edit and posted it on YouTube. It was kind of like a sponsor me video, but we didn't actually call it that. And he actually ended up getting sponsored by the local skate shop from that video,
nice.
which is sick. So yeah, that was good fun and good memories as well.
Nice. What about you then? So you said you didn't have got that good at skating. What was your first graphic though?
So my first graphic, I've actually, funny enough, I've got it lined up to show the viewers because I remember it, but it was a Plan B Danny Way Pro model. And I love Danny Way because, like I said, I can't remember what it was for, because like, I think when you're a kid, obviously your parents they bought me a skateboard at some point for Christmas. It's just like a little fun. I never took it seriously. It was just kind of like a bit of fun. And then I got into the skate games. So I had the first skate game on the Nintendo Wii.
Oh yeah.
And they got that like big balance board thing.
Yeah.
You used to sit, so that's how you'd control it. And the one thing that really bugged me about that game is you could never get off the board. It was like you didn't walk around or anything. With the first skate game, you had to just stay on the board regardless. And if you fell off it, you just teleported back onto the board. Skate 2 was when they added like the free roam. You were able to walk around and run and stuff like that, which I loved. But yeah, that's how I got to know the names like Danny Way and PJ Ladd and Chris Cole.
PJ Ladd,
like some of the legends, So it's what made me want to. My first like proper, not complete, but the setup that I went into a skate shop, picked out everything. This was the first graphic, so
nice.
It was. I don't know if you can. Probably can't see it, Anthony. Let me quickly. Bear with. There we go.
Oh yes, this very a very famous graphic.
So I love the colours. It was the colours. The funny enough, it's kind of matching the same colour as my headset cushions at the moment. But yeah, I can't remember the trucks and the wheels I had on it, but yeah, that graphic, it just brings back so many memories, and the nostalgia I get just from looking at it is crazy.
Nice. What about the width of this then? What width was it?
I think
You're
this
a pretty
was
tall guy.
Yeah, and I was quite a big kid as well. I think even back then, I think I had like size 8 feet, which was, I mean, I'm size 11 now, so so I think it was 7 3/4 inch, maybe an 8 inch, something like that. It was quite a wide board, and I got it mainly because I wanted stability when filming. So if I was doing the follow shots and stuff like that, I wanted to make sure that I could get down low and still have enough surface area on the board to make sure to keep my balance. So that was the thought
Yeah.
process behind that. So maybe the board was a bit too wide for wanting to do flick tricks, but because I wasn't doing that, it was quite suited for purpose.
Yeah, funny you say that though. This is probably small by today's standard, isn't it?
Today, yeah, but
Very
back
narrow.
then that was like, if you had size 8 feet and you had like an 8-inch deck, that was quite a wide. I think you'd have like sort of 8 and a quarter now on like a size 11 feet like I've got now.
Yeah, people are just getting bigger.
Yeah, basically.
People are built differently these days.
It's what they're putting in the food.
Yeah.
But yeah, anyway.
Yeah.
That
Okay,
was,
so
that was my first graphic.
nice. So in terms of fingerboarding, then, what are you riding these days? What deck have you got?
So the deck I have right in front of me is Raw Supplies Co.
Oh, nice.
It's I can't remember the exact name of this camera, but I remember it from the skate games, and was it Redder who was the your camera guy in the campaign,
right?
And that was the camera he used to use, and it's quite.
That's such a cool graphic.
It's an iconic camera for like back in the day, sort of like late 90s, early 2000s. Like anyone recording skateboard like content, they used that camera because it had like with the big fisheye lens on and stuff like that. It's just so iconic, and I think it's because it had the massive grab handle at the top. It was so easy to do follow and get those really iconic low shots as well.
Yeah.
But,
so that's from Raw Supplies Co.
So this is from Raw, yeah. So Carl sorted this out for me. It's such good quality, man, and I love the mold as well. And they're a bit longer than like your traditional deck as well, I find. It's the longest board that I own, which took a bit of getting used to, but I quite like it. It's different.
Very good. Yeah. And what sort of kicks and concave is on that?
So you're quite low concave, like medium to low. It's not like completely flat, but it's going to be really impossible to see on camera. But kicks wise, definitely more medium to sort of high-ish,
Nice.
I would say. I don't know the exact angles. I know you're quite technical when it comes to stuff like that,
yeah.
but it's you probably know the raw mold quite well, actually.
I know it reasonably well. Yes. Yeah. I wouldn't say I know the exact specifications. Carl hasn't told me them, but I know that he likes to posture it as mid to high and low concave.
Yeah.
Pretty much the decks that he wants to ride, really. Yeah. And what about the trucks and the wheels?
So trucks I've got on this are it's a 34mm deck, but I'm running 32mm dynamics.
Nice.
If I can actually get this to focus properly, there we go.
Nice.
And then the wheels I've actually got some. Is it Dirty FB? Ill Pills.
Okay. Yeah.
And they're kind
Filipino
of like
brand.
Yeah, and they're kind of a grey swirl. So they're not white. They look white from a distance, but they got like a slight grey swirl to them, which I love. Just the look of that with the green deck and everything. I think it just looks really, really good.
Very good. You enjoying the free spin on those wheels?
I am. Yeah, the Ill Pills, they free spin like mad, but then they feel really solid as well. I find that if you have a wheel that free spins, it can feel kind of really ticky tack, like clicky. Do you know what I mean? Like it feels a bit,
a little bit, almost like a little bit grainy.
Yeah. And it's like when you're landing tricks, you can kind of hear that kind of tinny sound almost. Whereas you don't get that with these. It free spins really, really well, but you don't get any of that feel or feedback from. It feels like they're loose, or it's good, nice, solid.
Great.
Big fan.
Great. Anything else that's going on there? What tape have you got? And,
so tape on this.
Tuning.
I kind of like to keep at the moment because I've got like five or six mains. To be honest with you, I switch things up all the time. I'm so indecisive. But tape, I don't have. One set. I think maybe two that have the same tape on them, but they're both the same brand of deck.
Makes sense.
So I try and keep the brands and their corresponding. If they make a tape, I'll put that tape on the deck. So, for instance, this has got raw tape on, which I'm a big fan of. You can use it straight out the box.
Raw tape is great.
But then I've also got like a G16, and that's got fish skin on.
Oh, nice, nice.
And then I've got another G16 that's got FBS. I've got 2 TP decks. They both have tune tape on.
Nice.
And then, yeah, that's what I've got so far. I
mean,
mean, we'll go through the collection at some point through different episodes. We'll show a setup every episode, I'm sure. But
yeah,
that's the one that I've got on the desk at the moment.
Great.
And tuning's just bog standard dynamic tuning.
Dynamic stock tuning.
Yeah, I find it's really good out the box. I don't need to.
It's great,
mess
isn't it?
around
Yeah.
with it. If it's not broke, don't fix
stock,
it.
One of the better stock tunings, in my opinion.
100%. Number 1 for me is Joy-Colt Indies.
Joy-Colt Indies.
The
nice.
best tuning out the box on any like factory truck. I've found. Even the way they were adjusted, I found I haven't really had to touch them much. They're just out the box.
I agree.
Really
I think Scott from Dynamics did actually say though that the tuning, like how they set it up originally, is just whatever just makes it stick onto the deck.
Mm-hmm.
So they don't kind of tighten it to a specific tightness. It's definitely there for you to tune yourself.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
But I love how, especially with those trucks, you've got the pivot cups, the black pivot cups, and then the orange bushings. Like it's obviously it's so Stage 11-esque, obviously, because that's what they're designed after. That's what I'm made for. But it's just like it's so crazy. Obviously, everyone saw photos and stuff when they first got released, but seeing them in person, it's a different wow factor. Yeah,
nice.
Big fan. What about yourself? What have you got?
So I am riding obviously my own deck. Well, I say obviously, but it's not that obvious. I do ride plenty of other decks.
Yeah, switch it up.
So this is a Fish FB deck, so one that I've made myself.
That's the play on the Tesco's graphic.
It is, yeah.
I
so
love
it's
that.
Fish fingerboard value. It's
Yeah.
a value fingerboard, with the Tesco sort of iconography.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
I love that graphic. It's very British, very UK.
Funny.
It's good.
I mean,
that's
I
the
love
whole point.
The UK brand.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah. So this is a 32mm.
Yep.
Boxy. Oh, it's like a rounded boxy sort of shape, and specifically it's high kicks, low concave, and it's symmetrical as well.
Yeah.
I'm big into my switch and nollie.
Yeah.
And
Same.
I hate having to turn it around, so I make my deck symmetrical. I've got Joy-Colt Indies, as you.
Yeah, funny enough, yeah. We mentioned.
As you predicted. Yeah. So.
And you got the stock tuning in there as well. I see the orange.
Stock tuning. Yeah. I'm not sure what tuning is available for Joy-Colt Indies right now, just because they're so new and they're so different to every other sort of truck in terms of their height. They are taller than other trucks.
I mean, I haven't tried putting any other kind of bushings in them to see what they would be like, but I feel like you haven't needed to.
No, definitely not.
I think if Joy-Colt come out with different colours, I know the orange is very obviously iconic for Stage 11s, but I like to colour match setups and bushings and stuff like that.
Me too. But it's good that orange matches well with blue naturally.
Yes.
Yeah.
100%.
So yeah, but at some point I do want to mess around with the tuning, but I'm just so happy with it right now. I normally don't like loose trucks. And it was a bit of soul searching for me. I don't like loose trucks because I hate wheel bites more than anything, and I never realized that. I just thought I hated loose trucks. So all my trucks used to be super tight and super hard bushings. Then once I got these, I realized I really like these, and it just happened to be because the height was enough to give me clearance, so that when I turn, I don't get wheel bites.
Right. Okay.
So I've now kind of moved more towards softer bushings on my other trucks, but I've kept the tuning a little bit limited so that I still don't get that wheel bite. It just doesn't feel quite the same as Joy-Colts though. Yeah. So I think Joy-Colts are definitely my number one right now. This
is one thing I'm going to say. It's quite controversial, but wheel bite doesn't bother me. Every single one of my setups, every single one of my setups, if I turn it enough, it will bite. Every single one.
No, I can't stand it.
I think every single real wear that I've got has remnants of
wheel bite. Yeah,
wheel
you can
bite.
see it there already.
Hang
You
on.
can see it there.
And this isn't even that old of a deck.
Yeah.
God, it's like trying to get the right. There you go.
Yeah.
See right underneath that wheel.
Yeah, we can see it on this. You can see it on some of this deck, just where I've had older trucks. And then finally, I'm running blistered John Cowart's
Nice.
wheels.
Yeah, I was going to say
Yes.
they look sick. I love the color.
I love these. I've got like 4 sets of these already,
Yeah.
just because I love them so much.
The blistered compound is just different, like compared to any other urethane wheel. If you're dead set on like plastic wheels and you don't like urethane and you haven't tried blistered, give them a go. Seriously, it's
they're
so
fantastic.
different. They're not too grippy, because I find that urethane, if it's too soft, like pyros for instance, they're quite a soft material.
Yeah.
And it does make it harder to fingerboard, I find. When you've got a little bit of slip, it's a little bit more forgiving, especially on the landing and takeoff. Whereas the blistered, they've got that nice feel, but they have that the sort of forgiveness of plastic.
No, I agree, and then with the shape of these as well, because it's like the asymmetric shape.
Yeah.
Where it's a bit more square on the inside, it locks into your grinds a little bit easier. Again, very, very minute sort of nuances.
But they make a difference. I mean, these are such small. I mean, you change the bushings in a setup and it feels completely different. You know, you change the diameter of the wheel, it feels completely different. So, you know, we say small details, but these small details make a massive difference on something that is tiny at the end of the day.
100%. Even half a millimeter or a millimeter on like the deck width will change it completely.
I mean, we were talking about it. We've talked about that before, haven't we? And you know, some people are dead set on like, I mean, because my favorite width is 33 millimeter, and I've got 34s and 32s, and still 33 is my favorite. And a lot of people are going like, there's no difference. Like, but I could tell there's a difference, and that's why it's my favorite.
100% a difference.
There is a difference. 1 mil, it doesn't sound like a lot, but when you're so used to it and you get used to it, it is, you know, and you go from a 33 to a 32 or a 33 to a 34, you feel it massively.
For sure. Great. And what's your favorite obstacle right now then?
Oh, I won't go with my favorite.
Okay. Well, what have you been riding recently?
One of my favorites. What I love. I always pick this thing up every single day.
Oh, nice.
And it's,
what is that?
It is a Pro FB, and I don't believe they're around anymore. This company. I found them on Instagram because I actually got this secondhand on eBay, and it just looked sick. It's like
it looks beautiful.
It's got a little bit of like a marble top, and then you've got that angled grass bank.
Yeah.
This is so smooth to grind, and it's good fun. I think my first ever fingerboard edit on my Instagram I posted, it was with this obstacle.
Nice.
And yeah, just had so much fun with it. But yeah, Pro FB was the brand. I found them on Instagram, but they haven't posted in like well over a few years, so I'm assuming they are no more, which is sad because it's a really nice obstacle.
That's a shame because I really want that now.
We can't get it, so I mean, I don't know about you, but I scour sort of not every day, but every few days I'll go on like Facebook Marketplace, eBay, Vinted, and I'll just see what's available, you know, because you never know, someone might just post something new. Obviously there's other stuff on there. At the moment there's some old Black River obstacle that's going for nearly 800 quid on eBay. I don't know if you've seen that, but
I haven't seen that one. No, I've been a little bit too busy recently, but I'm going to check it out soon.
I cannot believe he's asking for that, but then again, it is quite old and quite rare. So if someone's willing to pay that kind of money for it, then go for it. But it's not worth 800 quid in my opinion.
Well, if you decide you want to let go of that bank and marble,
you will be the first person I
please
reach out
do
to.
let me know.
It's good fun.
Good.
I'm a big fan, but no, she's not leaving me yet. I'm not done with her.
Fair enough.
What about you? What's your go-to obstacle as of late?
So right now I'm using the Black River marble ledge.
Yes, I want one.
Yeah, so this was, I think, this is the first one that they released, and it came in the first batch, so it was subscribers only.
Yeah.
I actually got it off someone else. I think I got it off Rise Ramps. He had this for one of his events, and he used it as a competition obstacle. And then once he was finished with it, he wanted to pass it on, so I bought it off him.
His collection is crazy as well.
Yeah, it's so good. So I'm sure we're going to get Mark on at some point.
I'd love to, just to like not go through it all, but like just to talk about like how much do you think he's invested into that? Like we were talking adult money before, but like my God.
Yeah. Well, to be fair, I think he buys kind of like collections and lots of them as well,
Okay.
and then
Because
he
he's
will
got
sell a
multiple.
little
He's
bit
got
to.
duplicates, isn't he? I've seen he's got quite a few of like one
Yeah,
type of obstacle.
but he sells them on to help build it up, and he builds a collection so he can take his stuff and his show essentially to all different places around the UK,
Yep.
so that he can actually provide events. It's funny actually, we kind of gone into this, but
It's a good segue, actually.
yeah, it is, yeah.
If we,
So the UK is hosting its next event on Saturday, the 14th of March in Derby, and it's the Rodeo.
as you can see, it's on the screen now.
Yeah, so this is actually a collaboration between Rise Ramps, which is Mark and Tom,
And yourself.
and myself with Gage. So although Gage is part of my team, he's actually not the kind of like, not collaborating with me for this event, but because it's held in Derby, which is Gage's hometown, he's kind of like sorting out a lot of like the
venue sort of
venue,
thing.
exactly, yeah, and the sponsors and such.
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah, I was just going to say that list of sponsors is absolutely crazy. Like just to name a few, we've got Teak Tuning, Black River, like big names. FBS, Slush Cartwheels. It's incredible, and so
Catfish
many more as well.
Barbecue
Catfish Barbecue, I've just seen that logo there. That's mad.
So
I can't wait.
Gage has done a real good job of gathering
100%.
sponsors as well. Not just Gage, but the whole team really. And a lot, with every single Rise Ramps event, Mark brings his entire collection, and he's got so many obstacles.
You can make your own fingerboard park, essentially.
Literally,
with the amount of obstacles he's got.
No, it's always a good time. There's great space, great venue. We actually had the Derby Rodeo, which is like the prequel to this, last year, and it was, in my opinion, the best event of the year for the UK. So I really encourage everyone to come along to the Rodeo, Saturday, 14th of March at the Blue Note in Derby.
And it's fairly middle of the country-ish, so it's not too far from a lot of people. Like, it's not up in Manchester, so anyone who's like in down south, like Kent way or Sussex, like myself, that's but Derby's a little bit closer, so I think it's a good sort of halfway point between a lot of people.
Yeah, it's really, really accessible for a lot of people.
And
so,
I think on the day as well, being the Saturday 14th of March, starting at 12 p.m, so if you want to travel up on the Saturday morning, it gives you pretty much all morning to do that, and then obviously it doesn't start till midday, so 6 hours of just good fun, good laughs, lots of I'm sure there's going to be a lot of products for sale as well from like yourself, and a lot of other there's going to be vendors there, I'm sure.
Yeah, and there's going to be a little charity drive going for breast cancer awareness as well. So one of our pro riders in the UK, Devil Fingers, you can follow him on Instagram as well. His mother unfortunately passed away recently from breast cancer, and we're doing a little charity drive and collection for her memory. So yeah, I really encourage people to help out.
100%.
It is also Mother's Day on the 15th, the day after as well. So love your mothers.
Yeah, 100%. You always got to love your mum. They brought you into this world, regardless of who you are. You've got to love your mum. And I can only imagine what Devil's going through, and hearts obviously to him. Love you, bro, if you're watching. And can't wait to meet you in person as well at Derby. It's going to be such a fun time, and anyone else who's coming as well. I think I only met in person a handful of people at Festive Fingers, and I'm going to meet so many more people, because I've reached out and I've made connections with people through Instagram now that I've never met, like Devil, for instance, and everyone's going to Derby, so I can't wait for it. It's going to be so much fun.
Carl was actually like I think he was the first person that I spoke to at my first event.
Okay.
And he was such a sound guy. It really made me feel welcome. I was kind of a little bit nervous going to my first event. I didn't know how things went.
So was I.
Because everyone knows each other.
I don't know very well. Yeah.
Yeah, but honestly, like, Carl made me feel so welcome, and he's been such a sound guy. And just hung out. And chatted with some other people, and chatted to one of his mates as well. Gosh, got on really well with everyone, but Carl was like the first person I spoke to, and he made me feel so welcome. So I really want to do something for him as well, to give that kindness back.
100%.
So one thing I'm going to be doing for the charity collection is I'm going to be releasing a new product on the day. I'm making coloured screws for your fingerboards. So usually you get like silver screws, maybe some gold screws with Black River drugs. But I've got a collection of different colours now,
We're
and I'm
not
going to be
talking
releasing.
plain colours. We're talking bright colours.
Yeah, so I'm going to be releasing pink for the breast cancer awareness. So you can get a set of pink screws,
which I think
it's
is
going to
sick.
be. Yes, I think it's going to be £8 a set. So all the proceeds of this is going to go to the charity. I don't make a penny on this. In fact, I lose money, and I don't lose money. I donate money for it because I've paid for the materials and I've paid for the process of making it, and I have to spend the time to make it myself as well. And all of that, I don't get anything back. All of it's going towards the charity.
That's so generous of you, Anthony. Honestly, because
no, there's no need to thank me. It's all for Carl and his mum.
No, and it's very much appreciate. I'm sure like the whole community appreciates. I'm sure Carl's very appreciative of it as well. So it's very because you could quite easily go, right, I'll recuperate the cost and then the profits will go to it. But you're donating 100% of the revenue.
Exactly 100%, and my costs are not taken back at all.
That's your donation in a way.
That's my donation, effectively. But everything that I sell for that will be going towards the charity.
Yeah, lovely.
Great.
Right, so, what other events have we got?
Okay, so there's
something else in the
nothing
pipeline,
especially planned because they're not short notice, but they do take a lot of planning, and people don't really want to announce them until they're ready. I'm sure there will be some other events coming up, but we do have one that's kind of on the cuff here. So Create and Destroy Lincoln, which is based in the Drill in Lincoln. They're hosting a skateboard event. But I've heard that there will be some fingerboarding there. Now, don't quote me on this just yet, but I will confirm for our viewers and listeners.
So if there isn't fingerboard stuff, don't crucify Anthony. It's not his fault, okay?
But
we will double check.
Yeah, we're going to keep you informed.
Yeah.
But that's going to be happening on the Sunday, the 17th of May. I know some fingerboarders are going to be going there regardless anyway, because they're not too far from there. And I myself am going to make an effort to go regardless. So we'll keep you updated.
Yeah, I mean it's May, so we've got a good few months to organize it. If you wanted to take book time off away, make it a weekend out of it or whatever. I'm sure if there's a lot of fingerboarders going, we can make it kind of like a fingerboard thing. If there's not even going to be fingerboard stuff there, we can go to the event and then hang out, make it fun.
Yeah, for sure.
We all like skateboarding as well. I still like watching it, and
I'm
actually looking at getting a skateboard deck because my son's sort of getting into it now, and I'm looking at getting a complete for myself relatively soon, which is probably going to be a terrible idea because I'll end up breaking my leg or something. But
you're braver than I am.
Yeah.
I don't have the stones for it anymore.
I tried. That's the thing. Like, we went to the skate park and he's got like this tiny little Spider-Man deck. It's not not for adult. And like I said, we've discussed before. I've got a size 11 feet. I went down a kicker with it and I nearly fell off. And I was like, no, it was fun, but I want to get a full size deck for me so that it's a lot safer because me trying to use this tiny little deck is just not safe. I basically only fit like 1 foot on it. It's not fun.
That's crazy. It's crazy. I feel that's going to just slip out from under you straight away.
It's so sketchy, and the bearings are so low quality as well. When it doesn't free roll, you like push it, it goes 2 foot and then stops.
Oh yeah,
it's not fun.
Sometimes you got to wear them in though. Sometimes you got to wear them
a little bit, but I'm gonna get new wheels and bearings for it.
Yeah,
hopefully they'll fit.
Nice.
So that'll be good fun.
Very good.
I'm nearly finished my brew. What's the time cap out? We've been going for 48 minutes.
Yeah, that's just flown by, really, hasn't it?
It really has. I mean, I've enjoyed this, and that's what this is all about, really. It's a bit of fun, and if anyone's listening, and they're doing it whilst doing something else, you might be at work listening to a podcast, you might be working out at the gym or whatever you're doing, we're
second monitor content.
Second monitor content, indeed. I think that's a podcast in general, though, isn't it? Really?
Yeah. We haven't really shown too much on screen.
No. Other than our beautiful faces.
Questionable for me.
No. Well, that beautiful Plan B deck.
Yeah, no, that's a beautiful deck.
Yeah,
Beautiful deck.
love
I
that.
wish I was more prepared and
That
could
graphic.
find my.
No, I
my
completely slipped my mind because we'd obviously discussed that we would talk about our first decks, but I was like, oh, I forgot to get a picture of yours so we could show it.
maybe next time. I'm
I
sure we're
think-
going to do this again.
Yeah, 100%. You say it was a blind deck?
Yeah, Blind Industries. It was the Little Reaper.
Yeah, I'm sure most people will probably be able to know what that
Yeah,
is.
it's
It's quite an
very,
iconic one.
very famous graphic series. Very famous company.
100%.
Yeah.
One of the greats. But yeah,
Great. So
Should we-
before we finish,
before we
though,
wrap it up,
I'm
go
gonna
on.
ask you some classic questions.
Go for
Some
it.
Classic questions. BRTs or dynamics?
As of late, I'm going to go with dynamics. I was, yeah, I mean, my previous, experience, I've only really had BRTs in terms of other than just like China trucks or tech deck trucks. And that's because I had like my first setup was like Berlin wood and Winkler wheels, so it's only suiting to have Black River trucks on that as well because it's the full German setup,
Of course, yeah.
But yeah, over the past few months, I've got my first set of dynamics, and then I bought a second set, and I'm loving them. I think they're really, really good.
Nice.
I love the geometry of them, the way they're different. You get a little bit more pop with them.
For that opinion, I think you're gonna get slaughtered.
Why?
Because everyone loves BRTs.
I love No, I'm not slating BRTs, okay? But you told me to pick one, and
Yeah, you know what? I'm gonna join you on the chopping block. I also prefer dynamics.
I mean,
Yeah,
it's
I'll be honest. I've actually never really got on with BRTs. I do have some, and I still use them, and I can use them, but they just don't feel natural for me.
what I like
Dynamics-
about BRTs is they offer the different coloured hangers, whereas obviously dynamics they offer the different coloured base plates. So it's
for sure.
It's very different in terms of how you want your setup to look, because I know that's a big thing for a lot of people, and sometimes it can be the deciding factor.
Yeah, but I find that people prefer different coloured base plates over different hangers. I think people like to just keep plain chrome or raw.
See, I'm the opposite. I love a painted hanger. I don't know why.
Oh, do you?
And when you've used it and it chips the paint off, I love that.
I don't like that. As much as I'm for using things and getting that worn-in look, I'm not a fan of painted.
So it's different
hangers.
when it comes to skateboarding. It's like steel only, like no paint on. And I think there's not really a wide variety of painted or coloured skateboard trucks unless you're going like relatively cheap. But yeah, for me, I don't know. I've always liked the sort of bright colours, and I think there was an old. It's like Elias Asmuth, or is that how you pronounce his name? Elias Asmuth?
Not sure, yeah.
Old Elias Asmuth, yeah. It was at the Harrix in 2011. He had
classic.
he had a Berlin wood. It was like it's like a ice lolly kind of popsicle graphic, and it had like bright yellow BRTs, and I just remember watching that from a young age. I must have been about 12 years old when that came out, and I love it. Like it's just that is nostalgic for me, and I think that trend has kind of stayed. And although none of my setups have actually got bright coloured hangers, but
I think they're definitely harder to get these days, aren't they?
it's literally just BRTs that are doing it. That's
I
the
think
thing.
Y trucks also do some
Y
as well.
trucks as well, yeah, like the bright yellow and stuff like that. But
Yeah. Oh, to be fair, Dynamics do a small collection of like painted ones as well.
what hangers?
Yeah,
Okay, I haven't seen 'em.
I've had a set of Dynamic SEs,
Yeah.
which is like the regular Kingpin editions.
Mm-hmm.
And I had that with white hangers. I've traded it a long time ago now,
Yeah.
but I did have those for a while.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then final question: urethane or plastic wheels?
Right, if you're going to generalize it like that, because you can't just say urethane and plastic, in my opinion, because there's so many different types of urethane.
Of course, not all urethane is made equal. Not all plastic.
So
is made
I'm
equal.
going to go and say plastic, because if you're just
Yeah.
in general, I think I would get on with more plastic wheels than I would urethane wheels. I'm very
That's
particular when it comes to urethane wheels. I can pretty much get on with any plastic wheel because they all feel relatively the same in terms of
they
the
are a little
grip
bit
and stuff like
slippier
that.
than-
Yeah, and that's what I've been used to. I started off with Winkler wheels. They were my first professional fingerboarding wheels with bearings. Actually, no, tell a lie. I think my first set of wheels other than Winklers were Bolly wheels, and this was back when Bolly were offering wheels without bearings. They were bearingless. I've still got them actually to this day. They're in my little tray. Original Bolly wheels.
Very good.
And they were a bit of an upgrade from Tech Deck wheels, but then I went to Winklers, and then obviously with them being plastic, and it just stuck. But Obviously,
Nice.
I've branched out, tried out different urethane brands. Some I've got on with, some I haven't. But yeah, I'd choose plastic more of the time than I would over urethane. What about yourself?
So I'm very much in choosing the material for the type of skating I'm doing.
Mhm.
So generally for like street skating, I'll use urethane,
Yep.
and for transition, I'll use more plastic.
Yeah, it's quite
So, yeah,
traditional, to be honest.
yeah. I find that when there's too much grip on like a quarter pipe or a half pipe, it just makes my fingers kind of lock into place too much, and I want it to just slide and smooth
Yeah, 100%.
within really. I think with transition, you're really trying to carve it out and make it look as smooth and as realistic as possible.
Mm-hmm.
And then with street skating, because you need that technique, you need that fine control when you're taking off and when you're landing as well. So
Makes
that's
sense.
why you need the grip, in my opinion.
Yeah, I mean, but everyone's different. Everyone kind of has their own style, which is why
Of
there's
course.
thousands of different fingerboard products that some people like, some people don't, and it's okay, people, that other people like things and other people don't. You know, that's
and
fine.
that's why we ask these inflammatory questions, because at the end of the day, it's all about personal preference and choice.
Exactly. Yeah, and if everyone ran the same setup, it would be boring. I think you can tell a lot from a person or a fingerboarder based on their main, on what they ride, what they like, and not in terms of personality, but like what they kind of like to do, what their preferences are. Yeah, exactly.
Very good, very good.
Right.
Great. So I think we're going to call it a night for tonight.
We're nearly at the hour mark, which I think is that's good for episode 0, or like ground 0. But the whole point of this was just to introduce myself, talk a little bit about you, and then introduce the podcast mainly. I mean, I'm excited just to give people a glimpse of what to expect in the future. We're going to get guests on, brand owners, team riders, like pro riders, content creators. We've got a lot of stuff in the pipeline we're very much looking forward to.
I'm really excited to bring a lot of the UK experience on, so we can just show everyone how cool our country is.
Yeah, 100%. Branch it out, just show it off, because I feel like the UK scene does not get enough rep for what it is.
No, for sure.
100%.
Great. Right, so if you want to like and subscribe, follow us on YouTube, Instagram, Spotify. Follow me at FishFB on Instagram. Follow Charlie at Charlie_J_FB on Instagram as well. And we'd love to hear feedback from you guys.
100%. Yeah, if there's any topics you guys want us to discuss, any questions you want us to discuss with certain guests as well, let us know. We're new to this. I've never really done a podcast before. I don't think, I've done streaming and that, but never anything like this. So we're just going to get better as we go. We're going to learn a lot, and hopefully have a lot of fun.
And if you've listened to us this far, I'd like to just throw out a little competition out there. If you want to do your best big flip off anything, off an obstacle, over a gap, it can be switch, regular, nollie, fakie, whatever, and send it to us on our Instagram. I think that's at t.and.bigflips on Instagram. Then we're going to pick a winner, and we're going to give a little
We'll
prize.
Showcase it in the next episode as well. Yeah,
excellent.
100%.
Great. Maybe we'll show a few of our favourites too.
Yeah, honourable mentions for sure. 100%.
Yeah.
It'll be good. Right.
Cool.
Till next time, I think. Happy days.